What's going on, everybody? Jhow here. In this Diablo video, I'm going to show you everything you need to know about Kanais Cube to be prepared for patch 2.3. I'm going to show you how to get it, as well as how to use it, so stay tuned for all that and more. In order to get Kanais Cube, you have to go through the ruins of Sescheron and face King Kanai himself. You can do that by accessing the map, locating in Act 3 the ruins of Sescheron in the top right of your map, and then making your way through the ruins and ultimately to Kanai himself. Now you'll fight your way through new enemies as you make your way through the ruins and on the way to the Elder Sanctum. It's here where King Kanai resides, and it's who you'll be fighting to obtain his Kanais Cube. Now once you've made your way through, you'll find yourself in his throne room, and you'll be able to defeat King Kanai and obtain his cube, which is a usable item back in any town within Diablo. Most recipes require a crafting material from each act. Those crafting materials can be obtained by completing the bounties in each act and obtaining a Horadric cache. Inside that Horadric cache is the crafting material that you need for that act. Also to note is that in certain acts, there's an extra cache reward for a specific act at that time. This is random and can be obtained and effectively double the amount of crafting materials you get for that act. Once you have all of your crafting materials that were obtained from each act specific cache, you can now utilize those in Kanais Cube. Taking a look at Kanais Cube, let's see how it works. Now, in order to understand Kanais Cube, there are 7 pages of recipes that are accessed by the page booklet here. On page 1 is the Archive of Talrasha. Extract legendary power. This requires 1 legendary item with special power. This is defined as the orange text in the secondary of any legendary item. To see a full list of what items are available, you can simply click on the Weapons, Armor, or Jewelry tab to see what's available. By clicking on the Weapons tab, you have several pages of all of the weapons that are available that have secondary affixes that can be extracted. Once you've extracted it once, it now remains in your booklet forever, such as what I have here, the Furnace. The best part about this is that it automatically rolls the highest possible roll that it can. Thus, this says increases damage against elites by 50%, and so on and so forth for every other item. The same can be said for armor. Hexing Pants has a built-in 25% resource generation and damage increase by 25%. However, the decreased is at its minimum of 20%, which is good for you. The same goes for other jewelry items as well, so getting the max roll is nothing to worry about. Utilizing this going forward will help you build your builds specifically around the passives that you'll be able to use. Looking back at the recipe, you'll need that 1 legendary item with the special power. Then you'll need each available crafting material from the act-specific cache. Your Kandaran Rune, Chaldeum Night Shadow, Ariat War Tapestry, Corrupted Angel Flesh, Westmarch Holy Water, and 5 Death's Breath, all combined will give you that extracted legendary power permanently in your booklet to be able to use at any time that you want. Let's use an example of the Unity. The Unity says all damage taken is split between wearers of this item. We can put this in our Kanais Cube along with the crafting materials that it requires. Don't worry, you can put however many the stack is in there and it will only consume 1 since it's only going to be used once. Once you have all of your crafting materials in there, plus the item, simply hit transmute. This will pop up with a warning saying, extracting a legendary power will consume the legendary item. Extract the power anyways. This means that your Unity will no longer exist, but its passive, its secondary, will exist forever in your booklet to be able to use at any time. If you had a bad Unity and you didn't like the roll, this is a prime opportunity. However, keep in mind that there are other recipes to be able to re-roll that item, again, in hopes to get a better roll or perhaps even an ancient roll. But for now, we're going to use this and extract the power anyway. Once we've done that, it says a new power was extracted and our remaining materials are left in there, and we'll go ahead and pull those out. And this is glowing orange for us to be able to take a look and see what's there. And there is our new Unity passive. This now allows us, for our jewelry slot, to be able to select anywhere between Unity and the Ring of Royal Grandeur to be able to use whatever item we like as a passive. Instead of going to your Kanais Cube every time to see what that passive is, you can simply click on your Details tab, scroll to the bottom, and you'll see your Kanais powers there. This shows that I have the Furnace, Hexing Pants of Mr. Yan, and the Ring of Royal Grandeur as my passives. As you continue to farm up more materials, you can continue to come up with more extracted powers until you have your book completed. Obviously, this will take a little bit of time and several bounties, but once you have all these in play, your builds will open up tremendously. Whether it be for the weapon, the armor, or the jewelry slot, you'll have a ton to choose from. Now let's take a look at page 2 in the recipes book. This says Law of Cool, Reforge Legendary. This says it needs a legendary item, 5 of each of your crafting materials, and 50 Forgotten Souls. This allows you to re-roll a legendary item. Let's say you had something like a Star Metal Kukri finally drop. However, the rolls on it were atrocious. It makes no sense to use such a great weapon with such a great affix if the stats are really bad. This allows you to re-roll it. It has the potential to also re-roll as an ancient item. It's defined as saying that it re-rolls as if it was the first time that it was dropped. This can be very useful for those specific items that are very rare that might need a little bit better roll, or one that you just have everything you already need and you want better rolls on an existing item. This can be really good, especially for those specific items. So keep that in mind, that you do have the available option, instead of salvaging them for next to nothing, to be able to re-roll that item. Recipe 3 says you have the ability to upgrade a rare item. This says Rare Equipable Level 70 Item 1 with 25 Death's Breath, 50 reusable parts, Arcane Dust, and 50 Veiled Crystals as well. So upgrading a rare item can be beneficial, although this is one of those things that's down the road that once you have everything else in place, this could be the way that you go. The 4th recipe at Kanais Cube is called Skill of Nilfer, Convert Set Item. This allows you to say, if you've so far farmed 2 shoulder pieces, but you're still looking for that set helm, this gives you the option to put that in there and re-roll it for another set piece. Putting that in there gives you the odds of rolling a helm as opposed to that second shoulder piece that you don't need. This can be very beneficial, especially when you start a new season or a new character and you're looking for those set pieces that are hard to come by. To be able to do this, you'll need 1 set item, 10 Death's Breath, and 10 Forgotten Souls. The 5th recipe is the Work of Cathan, Remove Level Requirement. This requires 1 equipable item and 1 rank 25 plus Gem of Ease. You put those in there and it takes the level requirement off of any item to be able to pass to any of your, say, new characters that you want to have just wielding a powerful weapon at a very early stage. Next up, we have the Darkness of Radamant, Convert Gems. This says any gem times 9 plus 1 of the following. Now these require a specific crafting material called the essence of, and whatever that gem type is, whether it's amethyst, emerald, and so on and so forth. Those crafting materials can actually be had from Squirt in Act 2 for 500,000 gold. Now, before you buy those, keep in mind that they only resell for 1 gold, so buy these whenever you need them. This can be very useful, especially for new players or new seasonal characters, to where you play a character all the way up until you have him maxed, and then next thing you want is to play another character, but you don't want to get those gems all over again. This allows you to convert those gems to another character's gem of need. So this can be very useful for new players and seasonal players, especially when you want to play a new character. Lastly, we have Anger of Eben Fond, Convert Crafting Materials. This allows you to convert crafting materials. We've all been there to where we've had too many Veiled Crystals and not enough Arcane Dust. This allows us to convert what we need when we need it. All in all, Kanais Cube allows us to be able to open up several possibilities that we've all needed. The biggest one being the Extract Legendary power to be able to run different passives for different builds. Once you have that in your booklet, it's usable across all heroes. You only have to do them once. Being able to, say, use a Focus and Restraint as opposed to being dedicated with a Ring of Royal Grandeur allows multiple build opportunities and just opens the playbook for many classes to be able to play with several builds and several sets, and additionally other legendary items. And with that being said, there's going to be a great amount of builds that will be coming once patch 2.3 hits. The ability to use, say, the Furnace as a passive to where you increase your elite damage, or the Hexing Pants to where you wanted to use this as a Whirlwind Barb, is now available without actually wearing the item, and allows you to do a tremendous amount of more damage, or to be able to have, say, a large amount of survivability by using other key features from other legendary items. So that's it for this Kanais Cube guide for patch 2.3. I'm curious what your ideas are and what passives you're looking forward to use, and with what builds. Leave a comment below and let me know what you're thinking of using. If you like the video, feel free and hit that like button below, because that is always appreciated. Also, if you're looking for more Diablo 3 content and other gaming content, be sure and subscribe as well. As always, I appreciate you guys watching. Till next time, happy hunting. See you again.